G-Man Boxing. Do you know what I mean? Every single live he donates. I see him on other lives donating. He's got the bag on it.
Alright, people, so Oleksandr Usyk has started mentioning Tyson Fury in his training videos, although he's not mentioning Tyson Fury per se. As we know with Oleksandr Usyk, he likes to mention the fighters he's fighting when he's training. You know, we've seen that with Chisora, where he was out running on the beach and it was the Derek, where are you, Derek? See him on a bicycle cycling saying, hey Anthony, and now he's saying, hey Belly, for Tyson Fury. So it looks like Oleksandr Usyk is well and truly in camp. He's mentioning Tyson Fury, although he's mentioning him as Belly, and obviously he's making reference to the fact that Tyson Fury, by his own admission, and we all know it, he's never going to be the body beautiful type. You know, if you saw Tyson Fury with a six pack, it just looks strange, wouldn't it? You know, Fury, he's all, even when he was at his, you know, his lighter weights, you know, back a few years ago now, but when he was in the 240s, he still had a little bit of flesh around the midriff. So he's always, and you know, he makes light of the fact of that. So that's what he's calling Fury. Obviously, Fury was calling Usyk the middleweight because obviously when Usyk was a teenager, he boxed at middleweight as an amateur. Actually fought Sean Porter. Didn't he lose to Sean Porter as an amateur as well, actually? But that was many, many, many moons ago when he was a teenager. So Oleksandr Usyk, it looks like he's into camp and he's mentioning his opponent again. Normally when he does that, he tends to fight them. And he's done it with Joshua. The first time he said, hey Anthony, was I think when he fought Witherspoon in 2019. He actually mentioned him in the post-fight interview. So he's out calling Tyson Fury. He did even upload a pic of himself where he was going swimming. And Oleksandr Usyk looked in good shape. He looked lean. You know, I'd say he would still be probably in the 220s still. You know, low 220s, maybe 218, 219, give or take if he was in the teens. But he's looking in good shape. So it looks like he's well and truly in camp. Tyson Fury, I'd imagine, is in camp as well. And during the week, we obviously got an announcement from Frank Warren that obviously he said the contracts have been sent over to both parties. So I would hope and pray that we will get hopefully an announcement in the coming weeks. Maybe even Yard Beterbiev, maybe, you never know. It would be lovely if we did. But hopefully it'd be soon. I'm hoping that'd be soon. It also is looking better for Undisputed because obviously before Christmas the IBF announced that they would be calling their mandatory, which is Filip Hrgovic, they'd be calling that and Oleksandr Usyk will be ordered to fight him. Now they've pulled back on that. So they've actually stated now that the WBA mandatory will take precedent. So they won't call their mandatory until the WBA have had theirs. Now Daniel Dubois is mandatory with the WBA. He's obviously a Queensberry fighter, as is Tyson Fury, as well as being called by Top Rank. So, and he's obviously injured now at the minute, so that fight won't be taking place anytime soon. Joyce is interim champion with the WBO. Again, Queensberry, so you'd imagine A-OK. You know, Frank Warren has talked about getting Joe Joyce out sometime in March, just for a little run out, probably against the Pulev or someone like that. You wouldn't, probably the name I'd think of, low risk and kind of a bit of a name. So it looks to me that there's no reason why we shouldn't be getting Undisputed next. Oleksandr is already mentioning Fury. You know, he's saying the hey belly. I find that quite funny as well, you know. I think that both these guys, Usyk has great banter. So does Tyson Fury when he wants to. Fury is funny with his banter, as is Oleksandr Usyk. You know, both guys are characters. Obviously, there's the language barrier. Usyk's English is not the greatest. You know, he does speak a bit of it, but it's not great. But I still think that these two, even in the build-up, there could be some funny moments between the two. There could be, you know, good funny moments. You know, not like egos going mad or anything like that. But I think we could have some good funny build-up. A bit like how we got with the Bellew fight, where Usyk he was hilarious in the build-up to that fight. So I reckon the build-up to this fight might be, I think people might be surprised by how good the build-up is to Fury Usyk. I really do. I think that they're going to market the you-know-what out of it. Documentaries and stuff like that, etc. But I think both guys being in the same room, press conferences, etc. I think there'll be a lot more banter than people think. I really do. But in terms of this fight happening, obviously the IBF situation, that's seemingly A-OK. The mandatories won't come into play. So as far as I'm concerned, really from the outside looking in, lads, there's no reason why this fight shouldn't be happening. You know, I would imagine if it doesn't happen, you probably would have to say it's down to the fighter. I'm not saying Fury or Usyk, it could be one of them, but there's no reason why it shouldn't. You know, there's no issue with promoters. Obviously, Fury is with Bob Arum on Top Rank, and obviously Queensbury and Frank Warren. Usyk is with K2, and he also has his own company, Usyk 17. He's not locked into a promotion with Golden Boy, DAZN, PBC, etc. So he's not stuck with them, and he's kind of free to do what he wants. So there's no reason, logically looking at this, why it shouldn't happen. You know, as I said, I said it with Jamie the other day. If you look back at when we've come close to Undisputed, or the perception was we were coming close to Undisputed, I should probably say, maybe a better word, there was always something in the background. You know, with Joshua Fury, even though it was sounding good and Eddie Hearn was mentioning it, you worried a bit because you did know that Usyk was still mandatory, although he said he'd be willing to fight Joe Joyce. But you knew the Wilder situation. You know, you were hearing, I think it was Eddie Hearn or Bob Arum, it might have been Eddie Hearn, I don't know if Bob Arum ever said it, who was saying, it should be okay. But you kind of were like, well, with the greatest respect, you're not representing Team Wilder and you're not representing Team Fury, so you don't really know. You know, you're only really getting what Bob Arum is telling you. Maybe he's not telling you the full story. So there was that hanging over them. There's nothing with this. It seems A-okay, all boxes are ticked. It's just the case of getting these guys signed, sealed, and then in the ring. I really hope we get it. I think we will. I really do, because at the end of the day, lads, like, there's nothing stopping this fight now. You know, there's nothing from a political point of view. There's no mandatories. So realistically, this fight should be happening next. Best versus the best in the division. All the marbles on the line. Someone's going to come out as number one. I think that's the only. I think it's going to be great. Honestly, I really do. I can't wait. I think we're going to get it. I really do. It's just a case of when the announcement's going to come. But Oleksandr Usyk, a little slight troll at Tyson Fury. You know, hey Belly, where are you? You know, I like Oleksandr Usyk. I think that he's just a mischievous character. He's a lot of banter to him, and he seems a real funny guy. Even though there's the language barrier there, he's not the best English, you still know when he's having banter. And I think Usyk is tremendous. I really do. And I think Tyson Fury is tremendous as well. I think they're both absolutely unbelievably talented. They're great fighters. And whilst Joshua Wilder is, yes, it is commercially bigger. Eddie Hearn said that, and I agree with him. It is, because it has that just thrill factor. I think that we're going to see two very talented heavyweights meet in the middle of the ring, probably sometime in March or April, and I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to know who will leave as the number one heavyweight. We might not know. It could end in like, we don't talk about it. These guys, although I'd favour Fury, they're evenly matched in terms of skill set. They have skills in different avenues. Has anyone ruled out a draw? Seriously, like, I mean, a draw, if they announced this fight and a draw was decent odds, it'd be worth sticking a fiver on it, seriously, because you wouldn't know with these two. You wouldn't know with these two. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Oleksandr Usyk saying hey Belly to Tyson Fury. Leave in the comment section below, lads. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully, probably won't get a live in tomorrow, but hopefully we'll get one in on Monday. And obviously we'll do a review of the week on Monday morning as well. So lads, I'll talk to you then. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. I'll talk to you. Peace.